Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again today for another installment of Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare on the PS4. And today we're going to be playing the Gardens and Graveyards mode, which actually happens to be my favorite mode. And today I'll be playing as the Berryshooter, and here's his new ability, the P-Gatling. And I'm sorry I couldn't put up video footage of the P-Shooter earlier, but the original footage that I recorded had graphical issues, and I just decided that it would be confusing for you trying to watch it and understand what's going on. So here's my first footage of the P-Shooter, which is basically like the foot soldier of the plants. And this one is the Berryshooter, and he actually got him from pre-ordering. I believe you can also unlock him just normally by purchasing sticker packs or by leveling up, but I couldn't tell you for sure. And as you can see, he shoots various berries at his enemies. And they do a decent amount of splash damage, but they can be kind of hard to hit fast-moving targets, like you see the flying object right there, the drone. But you can use the P-Gatling, the new ability right there, to be much more accurate and shoot a lot of bullets really fast. And one thing to note is you do have to plant roots in the ground whenever you use the P-Gatling, and you cannot move while you're shooting. You have to hit triangle to root back up to be able to move around. But if you plant and you decide you're in a bad spot, you can actually unroot before shooting any shots, and it won't waste your ability. It'll stay, ready to go. When playing as the P-Shooter, I like to stay on the go, and really I don't like using the Gatling ability that much because it makes you just wide open to get shot, especially by a rocket from the foot soldier, because you're just stuck sitting there. I like to move around a lot and take advantage of their splash damage. And what happened right there is the plants have to defend gardens while the zombies try to take over them, and basically you just stand in a circle, and the little marked off circle in the garden, and that is how you capture it as the zombies, and that's also how you defend as the plants. And as you can see at the top, there's a little picture of a zombie head and a plant head, and they both say 0 right now. That means that there's no zombies or plants standing in the garden right now. And now I just respawned at the garden, and that's why for a moment there it said 1. And basically it's an expanding map, and each time the zombies take over one of the gardens, the map expands farther out to where they take over the next one, and ultimately there's a final goal at each one, like you'll see there's some special event that goes on, like you have to, the zombies try to destroy a giant sunflower or push a bomb into a hole, like at a golf course. The Berryshooter doesn't get much ammo. It's actually one of the lowest ammo plants there is that you can play as, but his shots do a pretty good amount of damage, especially if you get a straight direct hit. There you saw it did 35 damage, and I believe it'll do even more than that if you hit him in the head. Though I do have a habit with the P-Shooter of kind of aiming low, just because I know you can always get that guaranteed splash damage even if you don't hit the enemy. And I always had to remind myself to aim for the head. And here you see the P-Gatling again. Which, if you can find a nice spot to just kind of hide out where the zombies don't, initially see you, like wide out in the open, see how I'm kind of in this corner, you can take out a lot of zombies very easily. And sometimes it's, I just like to just hang out waiting for somebody to shoot. But if you see a large crowd coming, there is a good chance that one of them is going to get you with an imp pun or a rocket or something. There I shot a chili bean bomb, and looks like I killed a couple of guys at once. That took me up to a 7-kill streak. And here I'm the only one defending the garden, which is fine, but it's not that big of a deal when there's no zombies around, but you really have to pay attention because all of a sudden a huge wave of them might come. Because the zombies in this mode, there's little spots where they can summon basically NPC zombies that you can't control, but they'll try to take over the gardens. And if you don't pay attention to them, they will take over it surprisingly fast, especially some of the zombies that have lots of armor, like the coffin zombie or the outhouse zombie. They can take quite a bit of damage to destroy, and they'll chase you around trying to kill you too. Here I'm using the hyper ability, which is, I believe, the first ability that the plant gets. Oh, sorry, the pea shooter. And it basically lets them move extremely fast and jump super high. They can get up to areas that other plants and zombies can't access. The foot soldier also has that ability, and in my next video you'll get to see that. And it looks like I finally got killed. And I got 10 kills, so it worked out well. I mean, I would have liked to have gotten more to, you know, try to see how many I can get without dying, but, you know, it's going to happen eventually. Especially playing a aggressive pea shooter like I do, where I kind of like to run in and get in the middle of things, and then, you know, jump back out when it gets too hairy and try to throw a chili bean bomb in there when you can. If you, especially if you get in a scientist's face, I mean, they will kill you very fast. Because the closer they are, the more damage they do. What I really like to do is jump into a crowd of zombies and then drop my chili bean bomb. And also, you know, rain down on them with my splash damage at the same time, so they kind of, no matter where they go, something is going to be attacking them. You know, if they try to dodge my shots, maybe I'll scare them into backing into the bomb that they didn't notice I dropped. And using a hyper and then jumping and shooting, you can really throw that chili bean bomb far. There I was just checking to see what my challenges were so that I can keep upgrading my plants. That little bones that you saw right there, that's actually where the zombies summon their NPC zombies. And a smart cactus can actually lay down mines around those, and if they're not paying attention, they will either they'll step on it, or their summoned zombie will. Or you can put it right around the corner from where one of those is. Here we're kind of playing fairly aggressive, trying to keep the zombies from really advancing toward the garden. And sometimes it's worth just respawning just to get full health and out of an area like that where there's just a lot of zombies around. A lot of times you'll get raised and then you'll immediately get killed before you can even realize, you know, get a firm grip of your surroundings. But if you respawn, you get full health and you get all your abilities back. So that's another hyper and another chili bean bomb that you can rush in and, you know, blow up a crowd with. Like I'm doing right here, or attempting to do. There we go. Got a multi-vanquish. A pea shooter who's really good at using their hyper and chili bean bomb and pea gatling at the same time, and they can just wreak havoc on a whole crowd of zombies, especially if they're bunched up. Or if they're coming through a choke point like that, you pull that pea gatling out, you can just mow them down. And there's not a whole lot they can do unless one of them shoots a rocket at you. And there's the teleporter, and that's something that the engineer zombie can build. And basically what that lets them do is quickly get halfway across the map to the garden to more quickly take it over. And there you hear some of the pea shooter silly talking. Those are the summon zombies. If you have a lot of them around, you can toss a chili bean out and they'll actually run up to it and try to eat it, and they'll all get blown up. Unless it's one of the ones that has a lot of armor, they may not die, but even if they don't, they'll take a lot of damage so that you can more easily destroy them. Or at least get rid of their shield so you can kill them. And there, the Chomper gooped that foot soldier so he couldn't move and just set him up perfectly for me to mow him down with a pea-gatling. Really right there, it would have been better if those zombies had, instead of just standing around there, had branched out and not stood all close together, making them easy targets. But, you know, it's a learning process, and not everyone has played as long as others. An interesting note about this game is, normally I don't really like shooters that much, but for some reason I just love this game. I just can't stop playing it. I mean, when I'm not playing it, I'm thinking about, you know, situations like, you know, how I could have dealt with a certain fight better, or certain tactics I should try out. Or exploring the maps more and finding, like for the pea shooter, a good place where I could set up a pea-gatling and just take out a lot of enemies without being spotted. Like right here, I'm pretty open, so you see there I very easily got killed. But if I had picked some nice little corner to hide in, I could have taken out a lot more zombies and probably not even got spotted. Probably got a shot on my bullets without any of them spotting me in time. And there, my chili bean bomb actually kind of bounced off the wall, so I didn't get to kill anyone with it. You really don't want to get close to foot soldiers, like I mentioned in other videos. Almost always they'll save that sprint tackle for just running over you like that. Rarely do you see people just using it to move fast. And here the zombies are out of time. We're in overtime mode, and basically if all of them die, this match will end. And it looks like they are pushing through. They might end up beating us, and they probably will. Or at least they'll make it to the next garden. What I've noticed that a lot of people playing plants do is they're just not aggressive enough. It's, you know, you'll see a handful of zombies rush in to take over the garden, and none of the plants will get in there into the thick of it. They'll kind of stand outside of the garden trying to pick them off. But the thing is, you might kill some of them, yeah, but there's still going to be more rushing in. And the whole time no one is in the garden, that just makes the zombies take over even faster. Because the more they have in there and the less that the plants have, it ticks off faster at them being able to take over. Here I use the pea-gatling to take out that zombot. Because those things, just like the drone for the cactus, can fly around and, you know, sneak up on people and shoot them from above and drop an airstrike. They drop a pinecone strike. Here I'm just harassing a scientist from far away. You know, usually they'll move out of the way before you kill them when you're shooting from so far away, but you can still do a decent amount of damage to them, so that even if you don't get to kill them, somebody else may have to pick them off. And it's fun to snipe from up here, but you are a big target. Foot soldiers love to come up on the roofs and look for somebody, especially a plant who's rooted. You know, if I see a sunflower or a pea shooter just sitting there rooted, I won't even shoot bullets at them. I'll just wait until my rocket's ready and don't even let them know that I see them there, and just shoot the rocket at them, and most of the time they won't be able to uproot in time and they'll just get killed. And what's nice is if you spot them on the map, like if you can lay eyes on them, it lets your other teammates be able to see where they're at, like through walls, like how you see the little picture of that head over the zombie even though he's on the other side of a wall. It helps your team to know where they're at. Here's a guy trying to just snipe. He'll probably try to shoot a rocket at me. Or no, actually he's using the mega cannon, which is a very useful weapon if you play from far away. if you're one of those that doesn't like to get in close, because you only get one shot and then you have to reload. But it does a lot of damage if you get a direct hit. There I'm getting shot by that same guy. I shouldn't have just been standing there like that, especially since I knew he was there since he killed me last time. But sometimes when you get in the heat of the moment, it's easy to forget things and get killed when you shouldn't have if you had just taken a moment to think. And there are nice sunflowers hailing me up. It's really good when plants move in a group of 4 or 5, maybe 2 sunflowers, a chomper, a pea shooter, or cactus or 2. I mean, you can just take out groups of zombies. But you don't want to get too bunched together, because that's when you leave yourself open for explosions, rockets, and imp punts. Or the engineer has a stun they can do that hits a whole area. Like I said, you really don't want to get close to the scientist, because you would die extremely fast. There I'm surprised I survived that encounter. He must have had to reload. Otherwise he would have killed me. At this point, it doesn't look like the zombies are going to be able to take over this garden, but, I have seen where they suddenly come back, especially if just like a large wave of 7 or 8 of them just jumps in there all of a sudden. That bar will go up really fast. And usually at this point, this is when they start rushing if they haven't already. I have seen teams of zombies where they'll rush from the very beginning. I mean, they'll just try to steamroll the plants where they can't get a defense set up. The sunflower got in the way and got shot, but luckily in this game there's no friendly fire. Otherwise, so many people will get killed by their own teammates, especially from explosions. It's best just to stay away from engineers when they're riding their jackhammer, because they'll run you over and it knocks you down. It doesn't really I'm not sure if it does damage or not, but you can't fight back when you're being knocked back like that. And here we win the match, and from now on I'm going to start splitting up the videos and just doing one plant or one zombie just to make them shorter. And I've also, started editing out some of the loading screens. I'm sure people don't feel like watching them, so I hope you enjoyed watching the pea shooter in the Gardens and Graveyards mode. And my next video will be the foot soldier. It looks like I got a 7-kill vanquish streak there, which is pretty good, and I think I had 20 kills. And here I'm going to open one of the Supremium packs. See what we get. And we got 2 character parts, pretty good. And it looks like we got 1 upgrade in there. Well, actually 2 upgrades. Got the turbo jackhammer and the supercharged football coolant, which makes your weapon not overheat as much. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, and I'll be putting out a lot more videos when I get the time. Thanks for watching.